That was terrible. That was truly awful. Actually bad. Like, legitimately just bad. Can't believe it, Acro. Pretty shocking, isn't it? The way that I just made up a bunch of crap and they believed me. Definitely is, and to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Am I that hated? Yes. I hate you. I hate this case. I hate everyone in the circus. I hope that you all die to a meteorite. Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose. He did. Psst, psst. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know? Weren't you like Magician of the Year or some crap? But you're not, which is kind of the reason why. Hey, pal. You're gonna ignore me after I went to all this trouble to bring you some evidence? My boy! Gumshoe, please get out of this case. Don't let it tarnish your character. Detective Gumshoe. Ah, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyways. Based! Gumshoe is based! Gumshoe, you should take out your pistol and shoot them all. Now, detective, I'm sorry. Look, why don't you relax a little? We have some really tasty milk. Disgusting. How about a card trick, detective? Ah, well, if you insist. How about that evidence you mentioned? What is it? Here you go. Huh? This was yesterday in Acro's room. Yep, and I've included the forensics results. Take a look at it later. Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this? Who cares, bro? Who cares? That's why this is all a secret. Huh? Look, details are on a need-to-know basis, and we're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan. I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now. You'll figure it out eventually, pal. Yesterday, our final plans were set in motion. Final plans? Uh-huh. That reminds me. I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here. Gumshoe, get out of this case, bro. Hopefully episode 4 does better for you. What did he mean by that? The very end part. I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me. I'm pretty sure. I think what he meant by that is, bro, this case is a load of crap, and it's going to continue to be one of your worst gaming experiences ever until the last second. So strap in, because it's just gonna keep sucking. Oh, one more thing. Magic must defeat magic. Hiya, Jackie! Ah, don't scare me like that. Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant. What? For me? It's milk. Reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils. Disgusting. An entire dairy's worth of milk for me? What is an entire dairy's? What, like, a dairy is like where they, like, pasteurize milk? Hey. Your Honor, I've decided that I'm just going to kill you all. Court is now back in session. Miss Von Karma, please continue from where you left off. I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit this crime. Understood. Now, Mr. Dingling. Yes, Your Honor. Please proceed with your testimony. Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay? Just do me a favor and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. Gulp. What if I just, like, pulled up, like, a game facts guide and we just skipped through all of this? I'm honestly heavily considering it. If I get stuck again, maybe I will. But let's see if I can just soul read whatever. Maybe what I should do is I should just start thinking of what the stupidest answer is. If I just think of the stupidest, most nonsensical thing that would never hold up in, like, not even a court of law, that would never hold up in a casual conversation between two functioning human beings, that's probably the right answer. So, when we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. Deserved. You deserved it. Your parents saw what a complete and utter idiotic loser you are and got out while the getting was good. Smart of them, honestly. That's when the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Russell Berry, took us in. He's an idiot. He's a moron. Shouldn't have done that. Should have realized that you were like a cursed child. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. You're such a thoughtful young man. As you heard, the witness deeply respected the victim. As you heard, the witness, much like Phoenix in the earlier testimony, was lying. Well, actually, he probably wasn't lying because he just wanted to kill Regina. Him killing the dude, I imagine, was an accident. But also, I do love how this game just says, like Phoenix, my favorite part, I think, it's only really annoyed me in this case because this case is stupid. But I think my favorite part is when Phoenix says, here's a reason that this person is the murderer, and then the prosecution's response is, hey, tell us how you're a good person. And then the person says, yes, me, who may have committed murder, I'm actually a good guy. And then the judge is like, well, dang, I mean, shoo, man, that's proof right there. Like, he's a good guy. How could he have committed a murder if he's a good guy, Phoenix? I don't know, maybe he's lying because he's a murderer? Did you ever consider that? Wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem. You're absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there? Actually, that's the question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? It was an accident. It was an accident. This might be my last chance to answer that question. Yeah, I'll examine. Defense has a right to cross-examine the witness. Huh, you're so tactless, Mr. Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive. Very well, Mr. Wright, cross-examine the witness. All right, here we go. How am I going to get you to admit that you wanted to kill Regina and you killed the man by mistake? We have to save the game at the start of every section because they don't start you with full health on a new trial section, which is stupid. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the Very Big Circus took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9. Wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. I should probably get you to talk about... This looks like I can just press L1 on everything. I'm just going to press L1 on everything, and then we'll reload the save if it costs me health for some stupid reason. We? Yes, my brother Sean and I. What? You have a brother? How old were you when this happened, Acro? I was 8 years old and my brother was 4. Your parents were very cruel, weren't they? I don't know, his parents kind of dodged a bullet. Nowadays, we aren't bitter about what happened to us because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the Very Big Circus. There are no wonderful people at the Very Big Circus, except I guess maybe Russell Berry, but he's also an idiot for falling for this. Why did he walk up to a chest and be like, ooh, what do we have here? Let me pick this up and... Let me wear Max's cloak for some stupid reason. There are no good people at this circus. There are only idiots and losers. Nick, the judge, is getting misty-eyed. Who cares? He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like. Ow! No crying in court. Let's keep going. The witness may proceed with his testimony. That's when the ringmaster took us in. All right. How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? He was like an uncle, a father, and a big brother all rolled up into one. That doesn't make sense. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had. What about the other people at the circus? This was over 15 years ago. Back then, there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile. What a beautiful story. What a load of malarkey. That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him. Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person? He's a murderer, Maya. I know, seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult. So then how long have you been a performer? Acrobat at around 9, huh? Started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then, I've been in incredible physical shape. This dude never read Batman comics. He was begging to become Robin. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name. No, it isn't, and that name is stupid. I've even heard of them in Germany. No, you have not. You're lying. Liar. Yeah, literally everyone in this case is just lying nonstop. Phoenix is lying, Von Karma's lying, Acro's lying, and just everyone is lying. Point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus. Truly a remarkable young man, and also a murderer. The judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Huh. Wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster? Ow. How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? It's literally my job. Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard. Ow. Ow, stop. No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life. I could see it happening by accident. Which is how it happened. Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with him. I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk. Think that will be enough for now. Pondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that. It is pretty unlikely. Exactly right, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question. Go ahead, Your Honor. I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead? No. I do not think that Acro wanted to kill the ringmaster. That is not what we need to prove. Acro wanted to kill Regina. Nick? Yeah, I didn't even have to think about it. It was obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason that Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven. What? That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all. Ow. Your foolish attempts to fool us like foolish fools is so full-heartedly foolish. Yeah, okay, I get it. Did you forget you made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster. If you want to jump to the end of things, yeah, it sounds about right. The end of things? Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night. What did you just say? I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with. What? You bodied idiot. Order! Order! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face, twice if you must. What? Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow! Bailiff, it's her, she's loud. Smack her. Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Yep. Regina Berry? This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct? Acro, you're really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
Objection!
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited, leading question. He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to say is you're wrong. That's it. That way I can call him a liar later. That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Enough! Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow! The only thing allowed to interrupt me is death itself, gladly. And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now. Gladly. I want to know why Acro would want to kill Regina Berry. Oh, this is stupid. What does it want me to show specifically? Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Hit save real quick. What does it want me to show here? Does it want me to show the lion? Does it want me to show his brother? Does it want me to show the notes? Present evidence that prove Acro was out to kill this young girl. I mean, it's gotta be the note, right? The note makes the most sense. That scarf stained with his blood and a small quantity of pepper. And a small quantity of pepper, of course. The note makes the most sense. Okay, good. Acro! You remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat. Inside the victim's tailcoat? Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled to the murderer. His purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 p.m. So you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note? Yes, but there's just one little problem. Problem? Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster. You mean, it wasn't for the... That's exactly what I mean. The person the note was intended for was none other than... Regina Berry. Order, order, order! Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours holds way more water than the last testimony. It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Regina didn't think the note was meant for her. Which is why, the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board, because she's an idiot. That's when her father, I mean the ringmaster, saw the note. That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Regina. And he was killed because of that mistake instead of Regina. That's incredible. Remember the testimony Acro gave us earlier today? I don't ever want to look at that testimony ever again. Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was. I've got it, I got it! Acro thought it was Regina down in the plaza. And that's when he let the bust fly. Yo, good on you for figuring it out, Judge. Character development. Hey, Nick. Isn't Regina listening to all this from the audience? Sucks to be her. She is. Unfortunately, it's only going to get harsher from here. I'm pretty sure that she had the lion kill the other guy, so she also deserves it. They all deserve it. They all deserve jail or death. Ideally, both. I hope Regina can handle it. I don't. Acro wrote this note to Regina. Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish, you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. I'm pretty sure you're the fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright, if you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Yeah, what about it? Well, if the note was meant for Regina Barry, it would mean that. This note is declaring that Regina Barry is a murderer. Correct. You just don't get it, do you? What? What did you just say? The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza, in place of his lovely daughter. Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note? The incident 6 months ago. I know all about it. An incident occurred 6 months ago, and now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at that time. Moron. Wait, are you sure that it relates to the present case? It does indeed, Your Honor. It relates more to the case than the magical make-believe story I made in the last court. Everything in the case is... I can't read. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago. Really, Nick? I think so. Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is. If I can't answer that question, the judge is gonna think I'm bluffing. Okay, so the conclusive evidence is going to be the pepper, presumably? It's the pepper, or it's the... whatchamacallit? Conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago. It must be the scarf, actually, now that I think about it. This is why Gumshoe gave it to me, because Acro had this scarf, right? So if Acro had the scarf, then it must be, the conclusive evidence he was going to face... what's her face with? It's this, or it's the pepper? I don't see how it could just be the pepper. It must be the scarf. What? This is it? Well, wait, that's not? Kind of figured that I'd try and get rid of evidence I didn't need anymore. What? Is it the... it's the pepper, then? Conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually... the pepper. Achoo, achoo, achoo. Okay, it was the pepper. I should have gone with my gut instinct. What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Although, to be fair, the decisive evidence is the pepper combined with the scarf, combined with how Bat and Regina act with each other. To be fair. It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for, which I apparently also, like, threw the pepper onto the judge's face. What do you mean? Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside. Another unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright, what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Regina Barry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper? Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw. Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. Okay, part of it is that this case sucks, but they are going way too overboard with the Franziska says fool thing. In episode 2, she did it like a little bit as like a one-off bit, and it wasn't like the crux of most of what she said. But in this episode, she has been saying it constantly, and I'm sick of it. She is reminding me so much of the stupid lunchbox lady now. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Regina Berry's intended victim? Wait, who was Regina's intended victim? Who she murdered before? It was this idiot. Who is this? That's Acro's younger brother. What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead. Technically, that's true. However, Bat has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead. Regina. She did that to him? Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state. A lion? Regina, I mean Miss Regina Berry, is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Regina could never do something like that. It's just not in her. Wrong. So then what happened to Acro's brother? He's not the victim of an attempted murder, he's the victim of an accident. I see. Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident? Could it have been an accident that the pepper was on the scarf and it made the lion sneeze? No, I think Regina's insane and she's a killer. I think Regina is insane. The lion biting Bat was no accident at all. What? You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There's no way that Regina could ever incite her lion to attack another human being. She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Regina is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother, Bat. The scarf. Yeah. That's just a scarf. Yeah, with blood on it, bro! Acro. This scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who's the one that gave the scarf to Bat? Regina. Regina gave it to him. Regina. There's something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor. And what might that be? Pepper. 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 Regina gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment? Hello, hummingbird. Excuse me, Mr. Wright? You've done a good job of... I'm not reading that. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that? Still seems like the judge just doesn't get it. Mr. Phoenix Wright, wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling? Smiling? The lion was smiling? Right before Bat was bit by the lion, for a moment the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling. Lions smile? I've never heard of them smiling, however. Lions sneeze. What? Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. Get wrecked. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf. What? You fool! You gotta be kidding.
Objection!
What's the matter, Miss Von Karma? I object for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, this theory, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened? It makes way more sense than the bus thing, bro. Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Regina. You foolish idiot. Ha! Ha ha ha! It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. You telling me that what I said was true? Acro? You don't mean, you can't mean, witness! Are you confirming the defense's claim? Mr. Wright, unfortunately, your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion, the wardrobe, the witch. It's all connected. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory. What would that problem be? The same problem it's always been, evidence. If I dropped Max's bust on top of the ringmaster, I'm about to have to give evidence, let's save again. Where's the evidence that proves that claim? Wait, what am I proving? You mean the conclusive evidence? The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof to be more precise. The murder weapon. The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes. Yes, it would be. Wait, I have to know where the bust is? The bust. Nick, you gotta do something. This is the last step. If I get this one right, the case is won. There's no way it's in Acro's room. There's simply no way. There's simply no way. Where would it be in his room? Under the tuba? Like, there's... right? I was in his room. There's no way. This is one of the tricks where they try and get me to, like, lose my own health. Maybe. Probably? There's no way it's this because the game never does this. The game isn't designed to do this. The game is not designed to be like, hey, stop the entire trial, ask the police to do something, and then we'll come back after the police do something. That has not happened in any Ace Attorney case that I have played thus far, and I don't think that any Ace Attorney case would, because it, like, breaks the flow of the game. It messes up the gameplay flow. Although they did also make that, who knows, maybe they'll ruin the gameplay flow now because they made that awful testimony before this one. Might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but why aren't you gonna search his room? Looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of Von Karma total justice. I guess. Figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned. Von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday. Yeah, obviously. What did you find? There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. Well, no, I think that you would probably just hide it and lie because you're a stupid idiot liar. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for. You see, Mr. Wright, the bust wasn't in my room. Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise, and we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story. Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. Ha ha ha. Looks like you lack the final nail to put into my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now. Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now? How would I possibly know this? Where's the bust right now? You're Phoenix Wright. You know where that bust is. I'm sure you do. There's not even a single clue. How am I supposed to know where the bust is? Seems this case is coming to a close. I hope so, brother. I hope so. The defense's counter-arguments look to have fallen short. Thank you for your support. Terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. Think that brings to an end the cross-examination of this witness. Hold it. Who said that? Gumshoe. Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. Okay. What? We need time to do what? Ow! Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she? Strong term. Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright? What? Are you asking me? Obviously! The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck. Hey, wait, you can't be serious. Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro's lived his life up until now. What? Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose. Okay, I get it. It's a circus. Very well, the defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue, and I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Walking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward. The murder weapon, where is Max's bust now? Save the game. Somewhere in the lodging house. Somewhere in the big top. Somewhere in this courtroom? It would have to be the lodging house. It can't be in the big top because he's in a wheelchair. Although, I don't know, maybe his monkey carried it to Timbuktu. It could be anywhere. Because the monkey can, like, levitate it with his mind. The monkey has telekinesis. None of these make sense. Von Karma said she already did the, oh wait, maybe it's the lodging house and it's like in that broken ceiling above Mo's room? I remember that broken ceiling bit in his room and being like, what is that? That's so weird. That must relate to the case at some point. The courtroom is the joke answer. I don't see how it could be in the big top. It must be the lodging house. Yeah, okay. There's no doubt in my mind the bust is somewhere around the lodging house. You don't say. He better not say. In fact, allow me to be even more specific as to its location. You can find it. It has to be Mo's room. Indeed, it's in Mo's room. That clown, you don't mean? Why would the bust be in Mo's room? I don't know. That's simple. I couldn't think of any other rooms it could be in. True, honestly. Ow. Refrain from making yourself look stupid. Nick, what about where Ben and Trillo were standing? Maybe she's on to something there. What? Search that room inside and out. There's absolutely no sign of a bust. Oh, you also looked at Mo's room? Oh, I'm dead. I can't open the options menu. We have to go through him saying guilty. It cannot be in Acro's room if Von Karma searched Acro's room. That just doesn't make any sense. I don't see how it would be in the plaza either. It's buried in the plaza. Buried? Buried? Near the scene of the crime and no one noticed it? How could you possibly think that? Haven't you ever heard the old saying, it was hiding right under your nose? That about sums it up. Hummingbird. I should rethink that, shouldn't I? Okay. So it's still just in Acro's room? But like how? What? It's in Acro's room. Without a doubt, the bust is Al. Let me finish, Al again. Already told you researched his room top to bottom. Prepare to taste your own tears, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Court orders Mr. Phoenix Wright to get a grip on himself immediately. Oh my goodness. So wait, it's not, what? It's not in the lodging house? That multiple choice option with 3 options opens up another set of 3 multiple choice options, and all 3 of them are wrong? What? Hello? So it's in the big top then. If it is in this courtroom, I may actually, like, not do episode 4 and just play the third game. It must be somewhere in the very big top. It's in the big top. Mr. Wright, we're exactly in the big top when we find the bus. I swear, if this is another 3 multiple choice options and all 3 of them are wrong, it's not in the cafeteria. It can't be. I don't see how it could be in the center ring, so I guess it's in the ring. I don't see how it could be in any of these. I believe it's in the ringmaster room. Once again, you're so predictable. Enough of your bluffing. The ringmaster's room was thoroughly searched. There was no bust found. Absolutely no way I'm wrong. I'd even stake my life on it. No need to be staking lives on things. And you get one too. Nick, you gotta think things over. Oh my goodness. What? Chat, what's the answer? What is it? What is it? This is stupid. Which one is it? This case is bad. Like, bad. It's in the courtroom? What? It's obvious the bust is in this very courtroom. What? It's obviously where? Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. What? Which one is it, chat? I'm not doing this. What? Acro, I'm sorry to ask, but do you mind if I take the blanket off your wheelchair? No. I just tossed my phone on the other side of my desk so I could put down my controller on my desk. No, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is literally a lie. This is literally a lie. That bust that is big enough to fall and snap a man's neck is not in his lap in that wheelchair. It is not. That is not physically possible. That literally cannot be physically possible. I'm sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you're a big guy and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. Not that big. Not that big. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. No. What? No. What? No. You would be able to see that. No wheelchair is designed to do this. Seems to me that it'd be really easy to hide a bust under there. Wrong. Literally, I have evidence that this is impossible. Look at that bust. The head and torso of that bust are like the same size as Max himself. Is it possible that the bust could be under the blanket, like attached to the wheelchair? Maybe. But there is no way that would happen, and it would not either A, mess up the wheelchair being able to move, or B, be visible. You would see that there is something there, blanket or not. Look at the size of this wheelchair. There's not enough space for how the cards are held out on the bust to fit there. Ha ha ha. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. I will actually find... this is by Capcom, right? I will find and, like... I will personally fire and make homeless all of the people who worked on this game. We all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. That proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over, which is why you had to hide it in the only place that you could. Under your wheelchair. Not possible. Not possible. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. Nope, this is a dream. Phoenix is literally dreaming this entire case because it's not real. This is not real. It's a video game. Of course it's not real. No, you know what I mean. This is not actually happening in the universe of this game. This is not reality. You fool. How could you? What, how could you, what, be a murderer? You got me? I've been bagged by a real pro. No, no. Actually, two of them. Miss Franziska von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. No, von Karma did nothing to make this case work. What? There's just one thing I'd like to know. How'd you know to launch the surprise search on my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence, the cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. How? How? What, you burned it? Do you have an incinerator in your room? What? Regina always took my trash out every morning, you know? But the bust, obviously I couldn't throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. No, you couldn't. You literally couldn't. You literally could not do that. You literally could not. Not possible. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon? There's no way I can escape that. So you got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma. It all makes sense now. Yeah, well done, Miss Von Karma. You lose again. Can't believe the Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing. Uh-huh, you definitely couldn't tell by looking at her. I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me? Make a mistake? Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I hadn't done that. Seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro? Yes, Your Honor. Did you kill the ringmaster of the Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry? Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro. All right, deserved. Execute him. Shoot him in the head. Actually, shoot him in the stomach and make him bleed out. I want it to last. All my brother wanted was for Regina to like him. That's why I'd tease her. One day, my brother sprinkled some pepper on Regina. She started sneezing so hard, you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Regina thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I know she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I know this. Wait, no. Okay, wait. Actually, Your Honor, I am moving for the death penalty. First of all, I think Regina is insane, and I think she might have done it on purpose. Second of all, you think that it was an accident, but you still tried to murder the 16-year-old who accidentally got your brother in an accident in a circus? You thought that she made a mistake that she did not mean to do on purpose, and you were going to kill her over it? Who wrote this? She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her no matter what. What? What am I guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. You're guilty of trying to murder a 15-year-old who made a mistake. That is what you were guilty of. Your brother became a star. Regina believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it, no matter how hard I tried. You're a monster. You're a monster. You deserve to die. You deserve to die. You deserve to die. You deserve to die. 16-year-old? Well, I'm assuming she was 15 because it happened 6 months ago. She could have still been 16. She could have been 15. I assume 6 months ago she was 15. It's a 50-50 guess, chat. By the way, I'm just looking at chat now because I don't care anymore. I normally don't look at chat during trial days, but now I'm like, who cares, bro? Couldn't stand it no matter how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Regina. You decided to kill a 16-year-old who did not know any better and made a mistake. How dreadful. How evil is what you mean to say. How evil. Are you saying you're a victim in all of this as well? No, he's not. He's not a victim in all of this. He is a evil murderer. He's a murderer! No, that's not what I mean. Don't care. Those aren't tears. That's like foam coming out of your mouth. Or your eyes, I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. Correct. You're a murderer. First, I thought I'd kill myself. Then I pondered giving myself up. Wow, okay. I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. Not until I killed the presumably innocent girl who just didn't know any better. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Oh, and also tried to ruin someone else's life. Max, I'm so sorry. I couldn't up and leave yet. Your Honor, electric chair. But, like, not high voltage, a slow electric chair so that he suffers. This has been a strange case. Strange is a funny way of spelling the word awful, or terrible, or bad, or poorly written, or poorly designed, or just garbage. There are a lot of different ways you could have spelt that word. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself. Awful and a waste of time, I guess? I've never been to a circus, but I would assume it's a waste of time. I'm an idiot. Yes, you are. You are an idiot. Correct. Can't believe it. You beat me again. Yeah, you suck at your job. I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. Bro, I really thought that Regina, like, killed that guy on purpose. I really thought that the twist was gonna be that she died. I don't feel bad about getting the twist in this case wrong, though, because this case sucks! It's bad! Absolute garbage. One of the worst things I've ever had to sit through on stream. This court is adjourned. All right, cool. I'm gonna, like, trigger a bomb on my way out, though. Like, this whole place is blowing up. And everyone in it. The clown had better die. Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be too happy about this. No one can. Acro, the Ringmaster, Regina, and Bat. Not a single one of them has a bad person inside, huh? Wrong. Did you just say Acro does not have a bad person inside? Maya! Maya! I need you to understand that he knew that a girl made a mistake that led a 15 or 16-year-old girl made a mistake that led to a horrible tragedy out of her control, and then he was going to murder her for it! Are you an idiot? If I could kill you to bring back Mia, I would. Instantly, in a heartbeat, without a second thought. Maya might actually be, like, the worst character in this game because she is consistently a moron throughout every case. That's a good question, one I don't know the answer to. I know the answer to it. Acro is a monster and deserves death. I'm not reading anything that Mo says at this point. Thank you. Nope, I'm not reading anything that the clown says at this point. I'm so far beyond that. I'm so far beyond that. We're just thinking about Acro and how he's a terrible person who deserves death. Wah. Wah. It's all my fault. Wah. Sweetie pie. Bat and Acro, they're never coming back. Yeah, Acro deserves it. Now everyone's gonna split up. Regina. Mr. Wright, tell me something. What do you want to know, Regina? Acro said something right at the end. I just couldn't up and leave yet. Does that mean that Acro, is he gonna try and get his revenge on me? Well, no, he's going to prison, presumably, because he's a murderer. He's not gonna do that to you, Regina. Are you sure? You're really sure? I can believe that? Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore. It doesn't matter if he has desire or not. He should be in prison for the rest of his life. If that's true, then I want to see some evidence. Huh? I want to know you're not just making up that stuff about Acro not wanting revenge. No, actually, I don't care. Chat, what do I present here? I literally don't care. I'm not even gonna try and think about it. Literally not even gonna try and think about it. What is the answer? What do they want me to show here? The monkey? Bat's profile? Oh, Bat's profile.
Take that!
Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again. Bat. That's right, Regina. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught, I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes and then until he can meet Acro again. That's so sweet of you, Regina. I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat. Well, hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Nope, not reading the clown's dialogue. What is it, clown? Not reading it. You can read it yourself if you want. I'm waiting a second to press X so that people can pause on it if they want. This is my protest of this case being made by actual... They must have had a monkey write this. They must have been like, hey guys, for episode 3 in the second Ace Attorney game, let's test that whole monkeys can write Shakespeare thing. Like, let's give that a try. That's why the monkey is capable of lifting the bust, is because monkeys are biased and think that monkeys have the strength of Superman. It's the only thing that makes any sense, is a monkey wrote this. It's monkey propaganda. That's what this case is. I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow. What's gonna happen to the circus now? Don't care. Don't care. I hope the circus dies, and everyone in it. What is it? Nope. Not gonna happen. You're a failure. The best circus the world has ever seen. That's quite the goal. Yay, I can't wait. I can. I would rather die. I guess that changes things. There's only one thing the best circus the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician the world has ever seen. Let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? This is perfect. So I'm gonna go to their grand opening of like when they get the circus going again, and I'm going to light the big top on fire so that they all die. That is now my purpose. Regina, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you? I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me. Nope, not reading it. Mo's right. Can't be the Barry Big Circus without Regina Barry. Max. Nick. Seems like everything is going to turn out all right here until they all die in the inferno that I'm planning. Yes. Can't wait to get to see the best circus the world has ever seen. Not happening. We'll save you the most fabulous seats. Shut up. That was truly terrible. I see. What made the case? Yesterday's surprise raid, it really paid off, just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you, Edgeworth? Gumshoe's talking to Edgeworth right now. It was just a theory, a game theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Edgeworth calling it. This is Edgeworth talking. Especially if he was the defense attorney. It's gotta be Edgeworth. You mean Mr. Wright? There's no one else Gumshoe would work with and keep everything like a full secret like this. Gumshoe respects, like, Edgeworth the most. Of course. Well, detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. That was a load of trash. I plan to personally stop by the chief prosecutor's office as soon as I get back. Yeah, thank you. Most obvious surprise of all time. Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you. Mr. Edgeworth. Is this supposed to be a shock? The only person who would be surprised by this is an 8-year-old. That was awful. That was truly terrible. Farewell, my turnabout. Oh, this is, there is not an episode 5. Okay, so this is the last one of the second game. Thank goodness, because I'm sick of this game. Is that a robot? Do you see those gears next to, like, a robot chest, but it looks like it's a woman? Is that someone on the Fey family? That's a robot hand. Excuse me? Robots? This is either going to be, like, hilarious or more garbage. But anyways, that's also like a robotic teddy bear. What is this, Danganronpa now? Anyways, this is, I want to just say, like, a final thing, because this is going to be the end of a YouTube video. Episode 3 was trash. It's not just the worst case in this franchise. It's also, like, one of the worst video game experiences I've ever had the displeasure of sitting through. The only benefit that it has is that it's short. If it was, like, a full-length game, it would be as bad as, like, Digimon Survive. It is hot garbage, and whoever was in charge of making that one should be fired and excommunicated from the gaming, like, world. They should not be allowed to touch any form of entertainment. They shouldn't be allowed to write cartoon episodes, TV episodes. They shouldn't be allowed to write for movies. They shouldn't be allowed to write for video games. They should, like, get into a different profession because they do not understand how entertainment works. So that was truly awful, hot garbage. Hopefully, episode 4 redeems this game in any way imaginable, but it's going to be difficult for them to do that. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video.